What's up, Jets fans? It's Christian from the Jets Report, and today we're going to be discussing everyone's favorite player from training camp so far, wide receiver Elijah Moore. The 21-year-old was taken out of Ole Miss with the 34th overall pick in this year's past draft. He stands at 5'10", 179 pounds, so it's a smaller frame, but it plays perfect into his skill set, and he really takes advantage of that frame to get past defenders. Some of the strengths in his game that are clearly being seen throughout training camp, and you can just see by watching his college film, are he's so fast and he's so quick. And there's a little bit of difference between speed and quickness. He's able to beat you laterally and just run a go route and just dust any corner. Or he's able to be quick with his motions and be quick off the line and create space fast. So his route tree is so big because of his speed and quickness, and his ability to just basically get anywhere at any time all over the field. Another, what plays into his speed and quickness is it makes him an excellent deep threat, something that the Jets kind of lacked last year. I mean, they let Robbie Anderson go, and then they signed Brashad Perryman kind of to be the deep threat, and he was just injured all the time, and he's just simply not as talented as Elijah Moore, so I'm very excited to have a great deep threat for someone like Zach Wilson, who has great throw power and can really sling it down the field. Another strength I want to talk about is probably my favorite strength of Elijah Moore's is his route running. I mean, he could literally stop on a dime, switch directions at any angle, and just really dust anyone. Like, it's just amazing to watch. I even got to see it in person at Jets training camp where they were doing 7-on-7 drills, and he was alone one-on-one against someone. I think it was Jason Pinnock in like the left corner of the end zone, and he hit the nastiest route. I mean, he totally faked out Pinnock. Pinnock went like flying in the other direction, and Moore was all alone with no one around him and like no one within like a 10-yard radius of him, and he just caught the touchdown from Wilson. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. It was probably the best route I've ever seen in person. And then he's been showing off the routes in like the 11-on-11s and other 7-on-7s on different training camp days where he's able to dust someone deep and Zach Wilson finds him for like an 80-yard touchdown, or he's able to come over the middle and fight through Bryce Hall, who's also playing great defense but also making the catch and really showing his quickness and his route running. Another thing I want to talk about are his great hands. This is a very underrated feature of him. I feel like I rarely see him drop balls. I mean, one play at training camp, he was going against Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall was draped all over him. I mean, I don't even know how he caught it. From the angle I was watching that, it didn't even look like he caught it until he came up with it after the play. I mean, Bryce Hall is draped all over him. He's able to find and track the ball, bring it in, no questions asked. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. You look at his college film, he goes over taller defenders with his hands. He comes in through the slot, runs some slant routes, catches in the middle through traffic. He could track the ball on deep balls, on go routes over the shoulder. I mean, he could really do it all, and I think he's going to be very special. I just can't wait to have a receiver like him on the team. And one more trait I feel like that's one of his strong strengths is he could actually work out of the backfield. And I know in this like Shanahan LaFleur system, they love having like not hybrid guys, but guys that are like quick, fast, can do like jet sweeps and stuff, kind of like a Debo Samuel, a Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco. And I really think Elijah Moore can be that from the beginning. I mean, he's got so much speed and burst that, I mean, if you just toss him the ball on a jet sweep and just let him run behind like Becton and Elijah Vera Tucker, he's gone. I mean, yeah, it's going to be like a 10-yard gain. Like, it's going to be perfect. So that's what I really look forward to. I feel like if he could be that Swiss Army knife, I love to use the term Swiss Army knife just when talking about players in the Jets because I know how much Salah and LaFleur value guys like that on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. Just guys who could do it all with all their physical traits and their football IQ. So just talking about Elijah Moore's future and his potential and how I see him playing out, realistically, there are 5 receivers on the roster that I would consider are in contention for top positions like Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Jameson Crowder, Keelan Cole, and Elijah Moore. But honestly, after watching camp, I don't care if Elijah Moore is the rookie. He needs to get wide receiver 1 more reps. He needs to be with the first team. He needs to be rolling out there on week 1 next to Zach Wilson. I think he's the most talented receiver on this roster. He's got the most room to grow. He's got the best physical tools. He needs to be out there. He is just an absolute sight to see. And I don't care if a guy like Jameson Crowder, the veteran, has to sit out. honestly, if Elijah Moore really emerges, I could see the Jets just trading Crowder. He's a great player, but you got to get Elijah Moore touches, and Jamison Crowder could prevent him from getting and reaching his full potential in his first season. But just wide receiver one numbers from him, I totally expect to see it. I could see him going over 1,000 yards. I could see him having a great performance week one and just shocking everyone, and everyone goes picking him up in their fantasy leagues, and all that stuff like that. But also, I love to see him. I think he's becoming Zach Wilson's number one guy, just like on and off the field. Like I see them bonding, I see them hanging out, just because they're from the same draft class. They came through rookie camp together. I feel like they're sharing similar experiences, and I feel like that's really important because every young quarterback always needs that go-to guy. And if they're both rookies and they're both on the same timeline, that just helps the franchise so much. So I'm so excited to see that connection develop over this rest of training camp into the preseason, into the regular season. So that's something I really want to keep a close eye on because it could benefit a young quarterback and a young receiver so much. Also, I think there are a lot of great receivers in this draft class. You got guys like Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, but Rashad Bateman. But I think Elijah Moore could be maybe a guy like Chase might be regarded as like the most skillful player, but I see Elijah Moore. I think he could have the best stats out of all the rookie wide receivers out there, just because of the volume he's going to get. I think because LaFleur loves him. The Jets even had him as their 16th ranked player on the board, so I think they're going to feed the guy a lot, and I think that could result in a monstrous season, maybe even a historic season. And I think he could beat out guys like Chase, Waddle, Smith, just stats-wise. I don't know how highly he'll be regarded next to them just because of the hype around a guy like Chase going to take it 5th overall. But just watch out for Elijah Moore and the stats. And also, I see him getting compared a lot to Odell Beckham coming out of LSU. I mean, just the Jets-Giants comparison I see a lot on Twitter. It's like they're calling him Odell, and like a young Odell when he was tearing up with the Giants. They have similar play styles, similar like swagger on the field, just without the off the field problems, which would be absolutely perfect. I mean, look at a guy like Odell. He had an historic rookie wide receiver season, and if I could see that from Elijah Moore, that would be absolutely amazing. I mean, I know it's very high expectations, and I know I might sound like a biased Jets fan right now, but I think Elijah Moore is going to have a great season. Book it, put my name next to it. I think he's going to tear it up, go over 1,000 yards, get a bunch of touchdowns, have a bunch of big plays, have a bunch of 100-yard games. I mean, I'm just so excited to see him grow and bond, especially with Zach Wilson. And just Jets Nation's going to embrace him, and it's just going to be awesome. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, go Jets.